Hey, welcome to my channel. You have to bear with me. I'm so nervous and I'm so new at this. I want to make videos because I've been through some type of awakening, and it was due to a lot of pain and a lot of trauma. And I know that it's a lot of me's out there, a lot of the version of me. Look, I'm just going to leave that in. I'm not even going to edit this video. The version of me who I was before I went through my self realization is still out there. It's a lot of versions of me still out there. So I make these videos to talk to the younger version of me because when I was going through it, I didn't have a lot of help and a lot of resources and a lot of people that can actually walk me through a spiritual awakening. They could tell me about a breakup, but they couldn't actually tell me the deeper reason why I was going through so much pain. So I promised myself that when I myself got through it, I would go back and talk to my younger version of myself, or I would go back and talk to the energy that I used to carry and let it know that it gets better, it's better on the other side. You will understand your purpose once you come out of it, and this would be the best experience that you ever experience. I mean, the best experience that you can ever receive down here on earth. Like, it's close to giving birth to a child. You know the joy that you feel when you give birth to a child? When you get closer to the ending of your spiritual awakening process, you start to get so excited because you know you're about to birth new life and you actually don't know what it is because that's God's job. We cannot see the future. It's like you get a knowing and a feeling of what's to come. And that's the exciting part. But anyway, that's who I am and that's why I make videos. So I want to get into the part where I want to talk to my younger self about I went through a psychic addiction. I was addicted to getting readings from psychics, and I just ain't have no guidance with God. I had no connection with God, no faith, no anything. And I wouldn't call myself an atheist because I had a little bit of like pulling to God, but I had a bigger pull to try to control my life myself. I had no idea. I wasn't raised in a religious or Christian household. I wasn't raised in a household that believed in God. I mean, I was raised around good people. My mother was a really good person. My siblings, really good people, but we just ain't understand the higher power. So I went searching, seeking. I became a spiritual seeker over like maybe 20 years ago. What I didn't realize that spiritual seeking is hindering your growth. I know that when you get that crack in your when you get that crack in your nervous system where all this information starts to pour in, you want to follow the information. You want to get the dopamine hits because this is so new to you that you never understood what an awakening is. So you chase the spiritual highs, but chasing the spiritual highs is actually bringing you away from healing because you are already healed. That's the thing. You don't have to worry about trying harder to be healed because you are healed. You just don't have enough clear consciousness to realize that you are healed. So once you start to sit with your emotions, that actually speeds up your awakening when you sit with your emotions instead of thinking positive thoughts to drown out the negative emotions. You sit with the negative emotions. That's what the actual awakening is about. But anyway, I got lost. I got off a track. But I want to tell you what triggered my spiritual awakening. I was going to so many psychics. I was getting so many readings because of one guy that I actually met at the time. And I was really, really young. And I didn't understand why this guy was going back and forth and he was ghosting me. And then he would come towards me and then all this other stuff. Because it kind of was like, I didn't understand it. My mother had the same pattern. So I myself thought it was normal for guys to play hard to get. So I would go to a psychic and ask the psychic, I mean, what do he mean or whatever. I would listen to the psychic, but not listen to the person. I would actually sit and listen to the psychic tell me that this person wants all these good things with me and want to have a life with me, but the person was telling me that they aren't ready for a relationship. So me myself would go against what the actual person was telling me and listen to the psychic because I was too afraid to face myself when I was by myself. I was too afraid to face myself while I was lonely. So I would continue to be disrespected in relationships because A psychic told me that everything was going to get better. Fast forward down the line, the relationship ends. I start to wonder what is going on and, why all these good things isn't happening like they said. Jump into another relationship, find another psychic. Because that person was giving me the same energy as the last person. But this particular time, I refuse to let go. I refuse to give up because I'm going to win this one over. I am going to get this man to love me. I am going to try my hardest to reroute my pattern and make somebody love me. Little did I know, I was just going against the grain. I was going against my natural energy. It was just a whole mess. But see, I didn't know. So I give myself grace and give yourself grace if you're going through it. Do not beat yourself up. Do not be mad. Just understand that it do get better and it is a lesson that you're supposed to learn from the universe. That's why you keep going through these patterns. So then I would find another psychic, and then the deeper the connection, the more that I was calling psychics, the more that I was reaching out, the more that I was getting readings, the more that I got addicted to calling these hotlines and going to see them. And then the more money I was paying and the more that they was scamming me and the more that they was lying to me. But I was so blinded that I could not see. I did not understand. I did not know why things wasn't going right. But yet I had so much faith in them that I would just keep going back and keep going back. And the relationship with the person, it just was up and down and up and down. But every time it was up, I would give credit to the psychic. Every time that it was down, I would give credit to me because it was something that I did to make this person be inconsistent with me. And fast forward down the line some more, I found a deeper connection. But I didn't know it was a deeper trauma bond. You think it's deeper love, but it's a deeper trauma bond. So I found a deeper trauma bond. I found somebody that matched my exact energetic makeup. I meant literally my exact trauma. All the trauma that I had, that person had that same trauma. But I didn't know it was trauma. I just thought I loved him and he loved me and we just were stuck like glue. It was a really deep trauma bond. But the more that you trigger a person that you're in a trauma bond with, because the lesson is for you to trigger each other so that you can awaken to yourself. But the more and more that that person will leave and breadcrumb me and ghost me, the deeper I was going with these psychics. I meant the deeper I was going with believing their stories because facing myself was so painful that I did not want to be alone, that I'd rather listen to a fairy tale just to soothe my wounds. I would allow myself to be deeply disrespected. I would allow myself to be, I mean, it was just so bad. But I would take that one good day and just think that it was God's gift. It was the greatest thing a person could ever give me. But I would ignore the 6 days of the week that I was being not treated like a woman should. And I blame no one. It's no fault to any of this. What you go through is empaths. It's nobody's fault. I'm just telling you that the lessons I went through and how I got through it, and when I woke up from it, how I corrected it. But I was allowing myself to be disrespected because something in here hurted so bad that if this person was to leave my life, it would rip something out of me. And I held on for dear life until one day that person dismissed themselves. It was like that person left. I didn't have to leave, they left. And I literally felt like I was going to deteriorate, like I was losing my mind. I was going crazy until the crazier I got, the more I started to see clear. And then I realized the whole process of me dating and going to these psychics was never to rely on a psychic. It was never to love a man. It was for me to find who I am. And once I realized that I am the one writing this story, I was able to rewrite it. I was able to love myself. I was able to choose my pain over my pleasure because I knew my pain had a story that I needed to hear. I knew that hole in my heart wanted to say something because it was there before I even met any of these men, any of these relationships. My hole was already there from childhood, but I didn't understand what sitting with it meant. I didn't understand what listening to it meant, and I didn't understand that I will be better off once I faced what I was trying to run from. Because whatever you run from will run from you. If you run from your inner self, the person that you are dating, in love with, or trauma bonded to, or the opportunities in life that you're trying to magnetize towards you will run from you because you are running from this void. I was running from myself for years because I was going to these psychics and they were telling me about me, but I didn't even know me. How can you know yourself if you can't get down to the core of what makes you angry, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, what makes you tick, what makes you you, what skills you have, what talents you have, what gifts do you have? How do I know that if I never got to the center of who I was? But I couldn't get to that center because it was too painful. So I looked for another person to validate me. Yes, I was looking for a person to validate me and make me feel loved,